Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. I am back again for your mid-December 2014 Tarot Horoscope. This is for everyone with their sun, moon, or ascendant in Capricorn. Finally there! Yay! I've been recording for hours and hours and hours. My videos this time around, this go round, have been really long. I don't know why. I just have a lot to say, I guess. And I want to be really thorough, and I don't like to keep people hanging. So, anyways, quick update on me. I drove for 7 days to get here. I am now in Ellensburg, Washington. I spent 10 days in a hotel, and then I spent 1 day moving into an apartment, 1 day moving out of the apartment, and then I'm moving into another apartment tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. It's a place called The Grove in Ellensburg. So I have a lot to be grateful for, lots to be thankful for. Things didn't work out as planned, but that doesn't mean I'm ungrateful. I still feel really grateful for everything in my life and all the people, all my lovely followers, all my subscribers on YouTube. You guys really make my day all the time, and I'm sending you so much love for Christmas and holiday, and hope you guys like my little jingle bells here. I bought this several weeks ago, and I had intentions of wearing it, for the Christmas, videos that I shot. So, anyways, it's perfect for right now when I really don't feel like dressing up. I'm just happy to be in a t-shirt and sports bra, and I don't have to really dress up. The thing is, that's how I'm comfortable. So anyways, so a couple other updates. I have redone my deck. Well, not redone. I've completed my deck. So instead of there just being upright positions, there's also reversals for my cards. And my cards have yes or no on pretty much all of them. Some of them are neutral. Some of them are what I call a double yes card, where there's a yes on the upright and there's a yes on the bottom. And there's sometimes a double no card, where it's like no on the top and no on the bottom. Those cards are pose very, very difficult challenges. You'll see when those come up. But there's going to be some new messages that come up, which are very exciting. And I'm also working with this stone that I call Critter. Okay, this stone is a critter because it's alive to me. It seems very much alive. It's a stone. It looks kind of rough on the outside, but it's not. It's very smooth. I mean, there's some rougher aspects, but it's very, very smooth. And this is called botryoidal agate. And there's this really cool gem place that has these crazy bins full of these giant crystal rocks and all kinds of cool stuff in Ellensburg. And I went to it one of the days where I was very frustrated with my moving into the apartment, and I was just so over it. But I went there and I bought this necklace, which is black tourmaline, and this little critter. And the critter actually, I can communicate with it telepathically. Okay, it has a lot of information that I use in my readings when I kind of get stuck and I feel like I can't quite get the message across. Critter kind of helps me out. So it's my sidekick, I think, which is wild because I am a normal person, and I never thought that I would ever, I don't know what normal really is, but I never thought that I would actually be communicating with a gemstone. So the other thing too is I am doing 2015 yearly overviews for clients in a private reading. So if you want to know what 2015 is going to be like, I can give you the yearly overview. I can do a spread for January, February, March, April, blah, blah, blah. It'll take about 2 hours, and it's $250 if you want to do that. It's very intensive, but I think a lot of you, Capricorns especially, would benefit from it, because that would take kind of taking a peek at what's going to happen. Obviously, things change and shift, but I think getting the overview would be good for you guys especially. So this reading is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, and moon in Capricorn, or just a strong Capricorn presence in your chart. And let's see what you guys get. I am still doing private readings, you guys. It's $75 for an hour. It's $150 for 2 hours. My readings are very detailed. I usually go overtime, and I accept payments through PayPal. If you don't have a PayPal account, it's really easy to set one up. It takes about 5 minutes. And you would just go to paypal.com and you click sign up at the top. I also take donations. If anybody would like to donate to my moving fund, it's not a college fund because I'm out of college. Moving fund. I would love to accept a Christmas donation towards my moving to a higher vibration place, because I feel like Ellensburg has such a beautiful vibe, and it's a really great place. And so, anyways, without further ado, Capricorn. So, you got a couple of really cool reversal cards, new messages, things that maybe you haven't seen before. So, what's coming to you is the Judgment card in reverse, which is a card that doesn't exist on the planet except for mine. And the Judgment card in reverse it's really great. It says, it's the resolution of all legal issues after much waiting, hardship, and it comes to an end. Celebration of new life path. Having more fun, beauty, and music is the focus now. Some of you don't have legal issues, but Capricorns generally are very litigious, and so there are things that kind of may have popped up. It can just be resolution, okay? So one of this is coming up because obviously we have New Year's resolution, right? To me, though, this is resolution of past drama, whether it's legal or not. It is very much legal related because it's the Judgment card. If you're getting judged, if you go before a judge, you're going to get heard. It's time that it's time for you to get heard, and you're going to be heard. They're going to hear you. They're going to say, okay, this person has a point, you know? And you're going to make your point, and you're going to make your statement, and it's going to be concise, and it's going to get across, and you're going to win. It's just going to be hands down. You're going to get it. What's crossing you is the universe, okay, which is the Fool card, okay? The Fool card is to take, obviously the Fool is about taking a leap of faith, okay? And it's, but the Fool in reverse is taking a leap of faith because you've been forced by the universe to do so. So it's the universe forcing you to take a leap of faith before you are ready, but it's necessary for your growth, and you will be better for it, although it sucks at the time. So the challenge is that you may have felt, you know, in December that you really needed to have more faith. You needed to take more of a leap into your life, into this new path. And the universe kind of really nudged you along this way. And it may have been very frustrating because it's sort of like every step you take, the universe is saying, no, you can't pause there. You need to keep going. 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 And things are kind of just going way too fast for you. Way too fast. You're like, whoa, slow down. What's going on? I just moved. I need to move again, and da-da-da, and da-da-da, and it goes on and on and on. And that's the energy right now. That's the energy going into the end of December, okay? The cool thing about this is your attitude is you want the good guy to win. You know, I think of this as I call it the castle card, the show castle, because in the upright position, this is the liar, cheater, thief card. Somebody at some point did an injustice. Somebody at some point did you wrong. You know, they lied to you. They stole from you. They cheated on you. Whichever it was. But it says the police apprehend the bad guy, the good guy wins. Whether the police are involved or not, it's the good guy winning, okay? It's you winning. You want to win because you know you're in the right. And justice is served. Wrongs are made right, okay? That is important for you to know. That is key, okay? I'm getting a tingle on that. It's really, really important. The foundation here is needing to go on vacation. Needing to live life also to the fullest, okay? This is, to me, this is like, you know, I thought of like an aquarium, going to an aquarium when you go on vacation, and you don't really have plans. It's not like you have any place you need to be. It's sort of like you need to kind of float. You need to float for a little bit. This is the foundation. So the foundation is you need to float, then you know it's time to really take one. You know, it's time to really take some time off. And the funny thing is that's the distant past. In the distant past, you needed to go on vacation. You needed to live life to the fullest. You had said to yourself, you had said to life, you pushed the pause button in your life, and you said, no, until that legal stuff is done, I am not going to move forward. That's what you said, you know, or until I get justice for whatever he did in this divorce, you know, I'm not going to do anything until that happens. And so it's sort of like you are like really working hard at trying to get justice served, and you're working hard at making things right. And in that process, you are working too much. And you are overworking, which is the spider, okay? Spider in reverse is, you know, working doubly hard, okay? It says working to the point of illness, being overly focused on career, no work-life balance, a workaholic. Life is not work. That's, you know, it's interesting that there's a strong work. Capricorns have a natural work ethic. They are the worker bees of the zodiac. They get shit done. They do it better than everybody else, and everybody else knows it. And there's a lot of jealousy and resentment about that. But the thing is that the truth is that you need to, I feel very strongly, if you haven't gone on vacation, you still need to go, okay? You'll still need to make plans. You still need to live life to the fullest. You still need to do things that are not work-related, you know? And interestingly, what's crowning you is it says, this is the yes card. It's the, I call it the frustration card in reverse. It's to make up. You know, in the upright, these two characters are fighting. There's issues, there's tension, there's problems, there's arguments. In the reverse, it is they're making up. You make up after a fight. You start talking again. You negotiate peace, love, and harmony. Okay. Interesting. You got. You got an affair card, which is really, really interesting. Some of you may not be having an affair. Some of you may be having an affair, okay? Sleeping with somebody who's married, okay? Or in a relationship with somebody else. You may not be having, like, actual sex with that person, but you may be having, like, an emotional affair with that person. You may be the person that's like, the other person's in a relationship and you're connecting on an emotional level to that person. And so that would be the equivalent of like an emotional affair. Or you're in a relationship with someone and you're having an emotional affair with somebody else. It says an affair that is unfair to both people. It's good sex, emotionally unfulfilling, two people unable to stop having sex regardless of others involved, blocking your blessings financially. To me, this is kind of like being kind of selfish sexually, selfish emotionally, a little bit wanting, to me, this is like being naughty. You know, this is Christmas time, so I guess this is typical. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's sort of like, Capricorn, it doesn't really seem like this is you. But you may be considering having an affair because there's something missing in your life, you know? And because of that missing, you're just going to continue to do it anyways because you can. And because the other person wants to. It's just a selfish thing. It's just like, you know, it's sort of like, why do you want to eat that piece of cake? Well, because you want to. So you do. And you continue to eat it because even though you know it's wrong, you continue to do it. This is money kind of dwindling as well. To me, it's a financial thing where you may not be having an affair at all or having anything to do with relationships. It may be more financial because to me, this is one of the financial cards. And financially, you may have started off with like, you know, quite a bit of money, you know, maybe towards the beginning of December and of November, and it sort of started to dwindle, you know. And you still have money, and it's still there, but, you know, you're trying to go very carefully. You're trying to spend it very wisely because you don't want to run out. That's your thing. So that's all I'm getting for that. The critter is saying is that you're very tired. You're working a lot, but you're very tired. It's sort of like you're sleepy all the time. You know, it's sort of like you're walking in that sleepy fog space. Interesting. It's very interesting. Okay, emotionally, you are putting down roots, burying the past. Burdens and responsibilities are easier, lifted. Friends come to help. Finances improve. Job gets easier, as does life. So I feel like you want things to lift. This is on an emotional level. This is actually something that's really good that's happening, and it's making you really feel better emotionally. Things are kind of getting better, and it's lifting your mood. Because things are improving, you know. All those burdens are kind of lifting. In the upright position, she's overburdened by responsibilities. In this position, those burdens are falling away. They're falling away. Things become lighter, you know. So I feel like some of the other signs have a lot of heavy, dense energy. And Capricorn, I feel like for you, it's all about lightness, you know. In the past, you've been working very, very, very hard and working too much. But I feel like things are lightening up for you. And the funny thing is what's coming in from the outside is, you know, too much work, not enough playtime, restrictions, rules, and suffocation, you know. It's coming in too where you feel like you don't have enough playtime. You feel like you're working, you know. So I feel like you're going to continue to work and you're going to continue to work hard, and you may feel like you don't have enough time off to just do things that you want to do. That's just what's coming in from the outside. In general, though, I feel like it's a lighter energy. There's kind of a little bit of a dark cloud hanging over your happiness. Okay, not hanging over your life, but just hanging over your happiness. And then your attitude again is the good guy wins. You know, justice being served, and the outcome is the Hanged Man card, which is, you know, hanging in there no matter what. And this is just one of my favorite cards. The card is, you know, being patient and being calm and having inner strength, knowing that you're going to get through all your stuff, all this stuff. Capricorns, you always get me. Emotionally, you always get me. I don't know why. I connect with, it's sort of like I'm relieved for you in a way. There's so much, there's so much complexity, I feel like, in these cards. There's so much complexity a lot in these in the readings that I do. And I feel like I generally see like the bigger picture, but for some reason it's like the Capricorn picture I see so clearly, and it's almost like I'm on the edge of my seat. And that could be because, you know, I have the Capricorn ascendant, and this does apply to me in some way. But it's just, there's so much, um, there is so much involved. That the Capricorns, I feel like they have an extra responsibility, okay, to learn things and learn things the hard way. And they have extra responsibilities in general. A lot of them take on extra things, extra work. You got 3 cards about working, overdoing the working. So my main focus for you guys is to suggest, okay, it's time to step back from the computer. It's time to shut down the computer. It's time to shut down the office. It's time to go home, and it's time to do something to make dinner and enjoy your family. You know, this is Christmas. I feel like you may be working a lot through the holiday, you know, but it's Christmas. There should be a day where either you take Christmas Day off or the day after Christmas. And even over New Year's, you need to take that time. It is really crucial that you take that time. Write in your journal, light some candles. The thing is, I feel like the things Capricorn, the reason Capricorn just gets into this mode of working is because they want to provide financially for everyone. But the thing is ultimately, it's weird because I think the more time Capricorn has off, the more it likes to have time off. I feel like there's another side of Capricorn. There's this another side that doesn't want to be burdened by materialism and burdened by their responsibilities and burdened by all of that. They want to just play. They just want to be joyful. They just want to be spiritual. They're the kind of people that seriously, if you gave them a choice between working and being free to do what they want, they generally would choose being free to do what they want. They don't want to necessarily work, but they work because either they have to or because they need to provide for themselves or their family, and so they take it seriously. And it's one of those things that the more the Capricorn works, the more it resents others for having free time. The more it resents others for not providing for them, you know, not giving to them because they're giving, and they don't have time to play. It's like the mom that is constantly cleaning up after the kids, wiping the floor, wiping the table, vacuuming, mopping, and she doesn't have time to just relax, whereas the kids are playing all the time. So there's that element of resentment there, you know. Not in like every relationship and every family, but it's just more like, I feel like that's there, you know. I am drinking tropical goodness for my throat because I've been talking for so many hours. And yeah, I mean that's the issue with Capricorn. They want to play. They do want to play. They don't want to be working all the time. There's that calendar that I really still want. It's the calendar where the goats are in the climb the trees, you know, and they're just kind of hanging out. I kind of think like that's the other side of the goat. It's the goat that just wants to climb the tree and hang out. It doesn't want to necessarily be constantly analyzing how they get to the top of the cliff. Eventually, they get bored with that. They need something else to do, to play with. The element of play is very, very important for Capricorn. And they almost enjoy it too much. And that's why they know that once they stop working, they're not going to want to go back. They're not going to want to they're not going to want to stop being in their joy. They're not going to want to stop doing their spiritual stuff. They're not going to want to stop, you know, being in that place of non-materialism, you know. I want to pick 3 additional cards for you guys, though, to see if there's any, like, final messages that need to come through, because it was so concise. I feel like it may be missing a little bit of elaboration. So let's see if there's anything in additional that I can share with you, my lovely Caps. And then I'm going to go to sleep, talk about working. It's 11. I might stay up really late to post these, but we'll see. So let's see. So we got 3 cards. Okay, so you got this card of healing. This is healing. This is healing. And this is the Swan that's in reverse, the 3 of Swords in reverse, which is, it's a yes card. And it is a time of healing. Take time off to recover from the death of a loved one or a missed loved one. Moving on from past relationships to better ones. This is really good. The second one is rejecting love because you're afraid of getting hurt or of being rejected. Lashing out at others, being mean or cruel. This is, to me, there's a sign of you, Capricorn, that can get very impatient, okay? You get very short-tempered, okay? Because, you know, you can be fussy. That's it. You can be demanding and you can be fussy and it can seem very short and mean to other people. And you can just say what you're thinking and it just comes off as being mean. My thing about this card is that normally the 2 of Swords in the upright is about not communication, not being able to get close to this person, not be emotionally available. The Swan is offering love. They don't want it, okay? In the reverse, they've rejected love because they're afraid of getting hurt, but then they lash out. So it's like, it's sort of like they've gone past the point of not talking to actually communicating, but communicating in a bad way, okay? So I feel like some of you Capricorns are in relationships with people where you may, I feel like right now you're so overworked that you're not in the right frame of mind. You're not patient, you know? You're emotionally unavailable. You don't want to be bothered. And the minute somebody tries to get close to you, you just lash out. You're just like, get the fuck away from me. I can't deal with you right now. That's what happens, you know? Instead of holding it in and being like, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to talk to you, you just kind of, you know, the match gets lit and you just explode. You know, it's like fire and gasoline. It's that one step further. So for me, the upright is about non-communication. Tension, not talking, not getting closer, nothing's happening. The reverse, it's happening, but it's not good. Okay? It's forcing the issue. And Capricorns can force the issue. Okay? If Capricorn really draws the line and says, no, this is what I don't want, it would be wise for people not to cross that boundary. Okay? If some people watch these videos for their spouse or other people, so this would be my suggestion for you. If you're dealing with a Capricorn male especially, okay? Capricorn male, you know, they don't want to be bothered. You know, if they don't want to be bothered, don't bug them, you know? If you feel that vibe from them, don't. If they need time to think, don't mess with them. Capricorns don't really fuck around. They're all business, you know. They're work, a lot of times workaholics. They want to play. They want to have that spiritual time. But they don't make time for themselves. Why? Because they're so afraid that once they do start having their spiritual time, they're never going to want to work again. Some of them don't. Some of them choose not to work. Some of them choose not to work in the traditional way. They have alternative jobs, something like what I do, you know. They do things that are not the traditional. They may have a Etsy site, you know, or they may make, you know, jewelry or something like that, you know. But yeah, and then as far as the ladies, I feel like in the past, you saw the potential for love and you were offering it to someone who was unavailable, okay? And instead of letting it go, you pressed the issue, okay? You pressed the issue and you were like, Why don't you want to be in a relationship with me? What's your problem? Why can't we just go out? Why can't we just be together? What is your deal? And you press the issue. And instead of them saying, you're right, let's just be together, they say, off with your head. Why did you call me? Why are you giving me shit about this? That's what their attitude is. That's what you're dealing with. And some of you are not really feeling the love right now. You're rejecting it. You don't want to get hurt by somebody. So you kind of cut people off. You may have cut people off recently, and I feel like maybe you did that because you just don't want to get hurt, and you can't be bothered with whether you'll get hurt or not. This is the same situation, similar to like that whole affair energy. It's kind of like you'd be interested in having an affair because you don't want to get hurt, Capricorn. You'd be interested in doing it just because you want to have sex and you don't want to like have to like deal with like any kind of like relationship drama or getting hurt, or being rejected. You don't like rejection. Capricorns get really, really upset about rejection because Capricorns love to feel appreciated. And if somebody's rejecting them, that's like the opposite of appreciation, right? Capricorns love that appreciation, adoration, love. But if you're getting rejecting a Capricorn, it's never going to be pretty. Okay, do not reject a Capricorn. That's my law. Okay, I should write like a list of top 10 rules. That's laws. They should be like, seriously, I should petition for these to be implemented into Congress. Okay, and last but not least, it says, financially, your finances are going to improve. It says, you are the channel for money. Finances improve. Gives a good business opportunity or a new job. In relationships, there's not a lot of equality, but in my mind, this is not about relationships. This is strictly about your finances. Because in my mind, the picture is the finances are pouring in. They're pouring in. You are the channel. You are bringing in the money. You're so money. And since I spent so much time on all the other signs, I'm going to pick one more card just because I like to push the envelope, okay? Just to see if, if Santa Claus is going to bring you everything you want for Christmas. I think what you want is this negotiation. You want to negotiate a deal or a settlement. You want to make up after a fight. You want to have peace, love, and harmony in your life. And that's the energy. So it's kind of stuck there, which is a really good place to leave off on. And I'm going to leave off on that. It's really positive. And really, Capricorn, I would take that and I would run with that into the new year. And I wish you guys a wonderful new year. Feel free to be in touch with me. I'm really good about getting back to people via email. If I don't answer your comments, it's not because I don't love you. I love everyone that comments on my YouTube channel. You guys are amazing, and thank you so much. And many blessings to all of you. Big hugs, big kisses. I'll be back again for the January 1st readings, or January readings, and I may do some bonus videos in between there, so stay tuned. All right, take care.